The Strymon Cloudburst is a compact reverb pedal with one purpose and one purpose only: ambience, but with a few twists. Let's check it out. The Strymon Cloudburst is indeed a compact pedal. As you can see from the pedal compared to my hand, it may be the smallest pedal that Strymon's ever made. Not quite sure about that, but it's awfully small. It's also very easy to use. There's one input and one output, and they both function as either mono or stereo if you're using TRS cables. There's also a combination expression pedal MIDI jack, so you can hook up an expression pedal, or you can integrate the pedal in with your MIDI controller and have access to hundreds of presets. Let's go ahead and turn on the Cloudburst and see what we get. Oh yeah. Now, if you're familiar with Strymon reverbs, in particular the Big Sky, you'll probably recognize that reverb type, and you're right, it's based on the cloud algorithm. There are a few twists, however, that we'll explore. But first up, let's explore the decay knob. If I bring it all the way counterclockwise, that's the shortest decay time. Here's what that sounds like. Yeah, it's almost like a room tone, isn't it? And it sounds great with distortion. Now, what happens if I have a clean tone and put a delay pedal, in this case the Strymon Dig, in front of the Cloudburst? Here's what that sounds like. Yeah, nice. Now let me go ahead and turn the Cloudburst off so you can hear what goes away. Cloudburst on. Yeah, very nice. Now, let's go ahead and crank that decay knob all the way up. So all the way clockwise. Here's what we get with a clean tone, no delay pedal, just the clean guitar tone. Wait a minute, how long is this going to go? It seems to be going for a long time. Oh yeah, it's got super, super, super long decay time. Now, if we bring that decay time down just a bit, back into kind of reasonable realm, here's what we get with some volume swells, again with a clean guitar tone, no delay pedal, just the reverb. That's pretty sweet. Now, if I do add that Strymon Dig in there, again, it's before the Cloudburst. Here's what I get with some volume swells. Yes, love that. All right, now let's play around with the pre-delay knob. Now, if you're not familiar with pre-delay, basically all it does is inject a little bit of a delay before the reverb sound itself comes in after you play a note. So right now, it's at the minimum position, so the reverb comes in instantaneously. Instantaneously. Yeah. Now, if we bring that pre-delay up, you'll hear how it changes the character of the reverb. You can hear how when I play the notes, there's not much reverb going on, and then it kind of blooms in behind the notes. Now let's go ahead and bring that pre-delay knob all the way up. Really interesting. The pre-delay is so long that it almost functions as a delay. Kind of a reverby delay. It's kind of cool. Yeah, pretty sweet. Now I'd like to go ahead and explore the tone knob. It's been in the middle the whole time. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way counterclockwise, so this is going to cut the highs. Yeah, very kind of mellow, almost muddy. And if you bring in some pre-delay, it really kind of sits underneath, especially if you bring the mix down. I haven't talked about mix, but you know what mix does. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's very flexible, even though it's a simple knob. Now let's go ahead and bring that tone knob all the way up. And this, even more so, brings out that pre-delay, doesn't it? Let me bring the pre-delay all the way down, and let's just listen to the tone itself. Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of lows being cut out of the tone, and the highs are being emphasized. Next up is the mod knob, and that introduces modulation into the reverb. There's no modulation right now. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's bring mod up to the halfway point. You can really hear that modulation. Let me bring it all the way up so it's exaggerated. Now, the mod knob, the modulation knob, is very simple. It's just one control, and it brings up that it sounds to me like it's bringing up the depth and the speed of the modulation at the same time. So I think running it probably at about 9 or 10 o'clock is probably good for a nice kind of subtle modulation. So I talked about a couple of twists. I think that pre-delay is kind of interesting. That's a really interesting twist. The other interesting twist is the switch in the middle. That's the ensemble switch. And what this will do is generate harmonically rich pad-like tones and inject that into the reverb. The switch has 3 positions: off, kind of medium and heavy, or moderate and heavy ensemble effect. So right now it's off. Let's go ahead and turn it on to the medium or moderate setting. Isn't that interesting? It almost sounds like there's a little bit of a synthesizer thing going on underneath the covers alongside of the reverb. Let's try the strongest or the heaviest or the most full setting. Here we go. When I first tried it, my first impression was, oh, it's shimmer. But no, it's not shimmer. It's very different from shimmer if you listen to it. Yeah. So I thought to myself, what if I turned the decay time to the shortest time, left just a little bit of modulation in there, and turned the mix knob to 100% wet. What would I get? Let's try it. What in the world? This reminds me, I gotta tell you, it reminds me of my old Roland GR300 guitar synthesizer that I had way back in the day, way back in the 80s. Now that's the heavy setting of the Ensemble. Let's bring it into the middle position. Really nice, so it's a little bit mellower, isn't it? Now, what if I put a delay pedal after the Cloudburst and started playing Frippertronics style swells? I just happen to have a TC Electronic flashback triple delay set up. And let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to go ahead and use my volume pedal and do some Frippertronics style swells. Here we go. So I'll have links to the Cloudburst in the video description, but in the meantime, what do you think of this little pedal? Good, bad, ugly? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, I'm going to keep playing around with this thing and see what I can get out of it. And I will see all of you on the next video.